Hey, cousins. Listen, I got to keep slamming y'all. Y'all better keep up because I'm going to blitz you. I'm letting you know now. I'm blitzing you with content. Okay, because after all said and done, and I got to go back to work and everything's going to ramp back up business wise. And, my son's going to head back to school. And I got all this stuff going on. It'll go back to his regular 2 to 3 videos and my PTO Thursdays. Okay. So y'all better enjoy. I don't want to say better like you better, but you better dig in the crates, enjoy the content, hit them comments, and make sure you thumbs up the video. I don't know what the thumbs up the video do, but they say thumbs it up, okay? Thumbs up the video and subscribe. Subscribing is free. If you can't do nothing else, subscribe. Memberships are open. Memberships are open. I take that little bit of cash, okay, and I upgrade. I'm upgrading stuff now. I'm preparing for something. I'm not really sure, but I'm preparing for something that got something to do with this podcast, okay? Girl, what that got to do with wrestling? It's jumping. It's jumping. If you want to break from this, you can go over there. And I'm talking about stuff that don't got nothing to do with this. And then some of the podcasts are over there in the full episodes because sometimes you can't post all the crazy shit you want to post because YouTube be like, girl, I ain't about to give you what you need with this one, but you can post it anyway. So what I do is I put halves up and put those over there anyway. Y'all see all that stuff. So with all that housekeeping done, let's have the conversation of complacency. Complacency. Complacency by definition, showing smug or uncritical satisfaction with one's self or one's achievements. So this is the question at the top of this pod that I got for you cousins. Do you think pro wrestlers today are complacent? Do you think pro wrestlers today are complacent? That's across AEW, Evolve, WWE, all the wrestling that you consume. Do you feel like the wrestlers today have phoned it in? That they are just spinning their wheels? That they aren't as hungry as they used to be? I'm going to go ahead and answer my own question, and y'all know what to do. I need y'all to get in the comments. I'm going to say, this is hard. This is a hard question. I don't want to ride the fence. I want to give a definitive answer. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. And then I'm going to explain, and then it's probably going to be a little contradictory, but I do feel that there's some complacency with a lot of the wrestlers. And this also can run across other forms of entertainment, right? Because I'm going to have that conversation about the next in line contracts and what's going on with those kids. And you can find that over at the Patreon. But here's the thing. I feel like there is some complacency, especially when pro wrestlers reach a certain level of success. Okay. And then there are some wrestlers who are still hungry and are still trying to find a footing and a hot spot. Okay. We have to, if you take someone like Stone Cold, right? Because we got a lot of people coming into their 20s, and I'm the old guard right now. I'm 44, and my age group, we got to see Stone Cold, the Rocks, and the Chinas and Jazz and all those guys and gals. We got to see them literally in their prime. When I was a teen, The Rock was in his late 20s, 30s, right? When I was a teen, Stone Cold was in his 30s. Everybody was in their prime. Quiet as it's kept, your 30s are your prime. You understand? I don't know what biology and all that they teach you. Society got things fucked up. Your 30s is your prime. That is your hot time, your hot spot, okay? Most people don't reach the pinnacle of success till they're well into their 40s, meaning till they have been in their field of expertise for a significant amount of time and put the work in. Okay? You look at Stone Cold. Stone Cold worked long time. They show you where he started. with the long hair, the tag team, trying to figure out who he was, going through the motions, getting disappointed, not getting paid well. And then that fateful day, he said those words, Austin 316, I'm gonna whoop your ass. He was already bubbling, but that Austin 16 thing, that was the ember that started the flame. And that was in like 97, 96. He was already like 34, 32 years old. Prior to that, he was all working hard, all up there, doing all the chitlin circuit and everything. So I say that to say this. When that statement was made, I believe at the Royal Rumble when Stone Cold made that statement, and everybody's ears perked up and they was like, oh, word? Oh, he finna do it like that? We on board. I say that Stone Cold took that shit and he ran with it. Ran with it. I don't consider that complacent. That wouldn't be called complacency. Okay? A good example of complacency would be Shelton Benjamin. Now I'm gonna tell you this because I believe I did a podcast on Shelton Benjamin. So hear me out. Because right now, what Shelton Benjamin is doing in AEW is giving me what he was doing in WWE. Shelton Benjamin is a freak nature of athleticism. Even at this age that he's in now, that man move like them joints been oiled up real good. So I'm not knocking nothing about his athleticism, about his physique, about none of that. But a lot of times I feel like he phones it in and he doesn't mind playing the background. And he's not the only person that does that. Apollo Crews does that too. It becomes to a point where it's like, you know what? I'm here. I'm getting a check. Y'all send me where y'all want to send me. My time's up. I don't give a fuck. I respect those that said, you know what? Fuck that. Mercedes Monet and Trinity Fatu. Them two women did something that was frowned upon, but I don't think people give them enough credit for them showing what being complacent will do to you. They wasn't complacent. Them hoes was fighting, especially Trinity. Trinity was fighting. Every time you look, that woman get in the ring, put it on the floor. She doing innovative shit. She doing everything she could do to get seen. We're doing hashtag Trinity because we saw that she wasn't complacent. Okay? And then she said, you know what, fuck that. I'm gonna do my thug thizzle. Y'all gonna see what y'all lost. And when she came back, got the pop of the night. Even when she was there and came back from during the Royal Rumble in the colorful suit, everybody popped it, and they ain't do nothing with that. And she still was pushing. I wouldn't consider that complacent. Complacency, I would say, if you just, again, there for the money, kind of phoning it home, not really pushing or doing anything. You go in, you do the little yang, you get out of there. You know, you're not really pumping nobody up. You're not kind of interacting. It looks like you're tired, looks lethargic. You know what I mean? It looks like you're just giving up. Like a drop in motivation and the work ethic when you get to a certain level. This is why when people say there's nothing else to do for NXT workers, move them to the main roster. I don't agree with that. There's plenty of stuff to do for the NXT folks down there. Don't move them to the main roster when they're not ready. And I also told you I'm going to be all over the place because it's a difficult conversation because you can't say who's actually complacent and who's not. But I can give you examples of people where I feel that they were chewing. The Rock. Chewed, got into Hollywood, came back, and everybody saw that he essentially checked out and was phoning the shit home when he became Hollywood Rock. A Rock. Right? And then he just left and he comes back and whoop. We saw more of that complacency when he fucked up the final boss character. The Rock fucked up his own character because of his complacency. He didn't feel, this is my speculation and the way he came across, he didn't feel like he was utilized enough. Like people didn't really listen to his ideas. He came to NXT drunk, didn't shave. Because at that point, he's like, I'm the Rock. Motherfuckers gonna go up for me anyway. I don't give a fuck. It came across awful. It rubbed people the wrong way. And it got to a point where he just said, fuck it all. You ain't gonna see me. Fuck that. And I don't think that was actually to the fans. I think that was for Paul Levinsky. We already figured that out. That's called complacent. When you've gotten so fucking high, there's nothing else to do. Start a new hobby. Don't get stuck in a position where this is my craft. I have achieved it. There's nothing else to do. You know who got some real good consistency, and I wouldn't call complacent? And I'm going to say Bianca Belair, because this woman makes her gear. And I learned that Queen Amanita makes her gear as well. That right there, to come up with something new and different isn't easy. It's just like making banners for this podcast. I gotta come up with banners to catch your eye so you could click on the video. You know how difficult that is? So imagine having to sew and make stuff and make sure your gear don't come off and it's pleasing to the eye. And then you gotta go wrestle on top of that. I wouldn't call that complacency. Okay. Another person I would say is complacent right now, it was Raquel Rodriguez for a minute there. I think after Kevin Nash kind of tapped her on her shoulder and was like, you need to do better than that. You big and shit, and you in there looking crazy. You need to start hitting harder. I see she actually took his advice and kind of mixing it up. But when she came back, she was very complacent. Came out confused, looking crazy, not doing much, like a wallflower. And it's a lot of other factors that come with complacency. Um, Ashanti the Adonis in NXT, who was a part of Hit Row. Remember him? He's very complacent. I don't even know how he still has a job. I'm not even going to hold you. Ashanti Adonis is very talented wrestler. Nice physique. Bruh, get you a haircut and get some better clothes. Why do you look like you about to jump out of a fucking Jack in the Box? You come out, you don't make no impact. You in the ring, you spinning your wheels, you look crazy as fuck. That is just like, hey, I got a job. You know what I mean? I could be doing worse. That's complacency. I don't like that. Cutler James is a part of that new faction. I forgot what it's called, NXT. Whatever. They're kind of a knockoff of the Shield when they first came out. But Cutler James is fucking terrible. If you watch LFG, that's the one that was the roommates with that crazy dude that I ain't like. I forgot his name. I forget everybody's fucking name. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He has absolutely no fucking personality whatsoever. And I'm not really sure why he's at the forefront of this faction in NXT. But no character development whatsoever. And not even trying to do it. He just gets in the ring and wrestles and keeps it pushing. It's like, I don't understand. Meanwhile, the three guys that's with him got more aura than he got in their pinky. Especially the one with the his shirt off. What's his name? Dark State. That's it. I told you I was gonna come to me. Saquon Sugars, Osiris Griffin, and Dion Lennox. Them three right there could be Dark State. I don't even know why Cutler James is in that group. That is called complacency, the way that man functions in this group. Those guys literally overpower him, and I actually think he's bringing that group down. I call that complacency. Other factors would include, a change in environment when the NXT guys get to the Raw roster or the SmackDown and they don't kind of know what to do. I don't call that complacency. I call that more of an adaptability issue. But you got to know how to get back and recover, right? I think I hit the points I wanted to hit because I don't want to ramble. But I also don't want somebody just fucking spinning their wheels in the sense that they're working so fucking hard that they'll get burnt out, i.e. Bailey. Bailey been, what we going to say, about 14, 15 years, and she still don't know her character? That's a failure of the WWE system. And because the WWE system failed her in terms of her character work, I feel like the motivation has kind of left her a little bit. But I wouldn't call her complacent. I think she working hard as fuck and is wearing her down. and is also wearing her fans down because I'm not understanding what the fuck is going on and why she get treated the way she get treated. But I also think it's because she doesn't have sex appeal like that, and the higher ups don't see her as sexy. I'm sticking to that, and no one really has disputed me on that so far. So go ahead and answer the question. I'm gonna leave it right here. This was I don't think this was too lengthy. Get in the comments and tell me what you think.